Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have for you some new purchases, and it is all Commem heavy day kind of today, and just love the Commems. I've always enjoyed looking at a variety of designs, design elements, and coins that are technically a lot more scarce than most of the coins that you collect if you're buying Silver Eagles. These certified Silver Eagles that are $100 to $200 to $300, you can buy a lot of Commems with a lot of cool designs in that same ballpark. So this is the Roanoke, the colonization of Roanoke Island, North Carolina, the birth of Virginia Dare. In God We Trust. A couple of the boats. The boats are probably specific, and I don't know if it's the. I almost said the Monitor and the Merrimack, but I will tell you it is definitely not the Monitor or the Merrimack. Sir Walter Raleigh, of course, who I would make the bold-faced assumption that Raleigh, North Carolina was named after. 1937, beautiful looking piece. I wish I had his collar. Lovely PCGS MS66 with the CAC. Real pretty coin, nice little original toning. This is about a $250 type coin. I like, one of the things I like about Commems is that you run into this type of toning and originality. It seems more often on Commems than on other issues where you see coins that have all been dipped out. This lovely looking piece with some subtle toning is known as the Cleveland, 1936. Moses Cleveland there, and sometimes also known as the Great Lakes Exposition, depending on what time period you're looking at when it comes to your commemoratives. They call this the Great Lakes, but usually it's just called the Cleveland now, so nobody remembers the Great Lakes Exposition. But pretty neat, Cleveland Centennial, high grade, nice piece, MS66 PCGS. Another coin that's going to be in that 200 plus 2 to 250 range, but with extra lovely color. All right, next up, Maryland. Also, one of the things about a number of the Commems is these fields that are not flat. So I find this to be really fascinating. The Maryland especially, you have your entire field in back is not flat and smooth. The whole thing has a wrinkle to it, which is really cool to me. So a lot of commemorative, a lot of medals and medallions that I've seen over the years have that type of a feature. But 1634, 1934, Maryland tercentenary. By the way, it's not only hard to say tercentenary, but generally I was making fun of previously Arizona's only a little bit over 100 years old as a state goes. But this is not their statehood. Of course, with Cecil Calvert on here. This is actually, from when somebody got there. So, little known fact that the Tucson area is one of the oldest areas dating back into the 1600s, just for y'all to know. Maryland MS66. I know you just don't misunderstand what I'm saying when I'm talking about the populations. Of course, I'm not talking about indigenous people. I'm talking about when all the white folk came over. All right, so here we go. This is a Boone. Now, Boone is amazing. What a guy. Here's a guy who was a frontiersman, woodsman, and of course also he was in the Congress, as I recall. And I love saying stuff like that because then if I'm wrong, someone corrects me. But some of those early guys, they did a little bit of everything. And there's counties, towns, cities named after Daniel Boone. The Daniel Boone bicentennial half. This is an interesting coin. First of all, just from the design elements, some of the things you don't often notice on this coin is the little details in back. There's like this little house in back, little house on the prairie perhaps, and then of course the sun setting down, and him here speaking peacefully to one of his Native American friends. There's actually a lot of war and strife, but there's a lot of peace too, and because humans are humans. What's really interesting about this coin actually is that this is graded 65 PL, so it's very hard to get a proof like Commem. I've hardly owned any of them, so this is probably going to fall into roughly the $500 category, something in that area. All right, Bay Bridge, and you can tell already, nice original toning to it. But also, if you can see, you know, I got a couple little plastic issues on this, but also the inner ring is changing colors. But that's because it's an older holder, and so some of you will recognize right away what generation something is. Now, the Bay Bridge here, San Francisco, Oakland Bay Bridge, this coin has always fascinated me because of the immense amount of line work on it. You know, just the whole back looks like it's a Ruffles potato chip with all the ridges. And so you've got the clock tower and some steamships going under the bridge. And then, of course, you got that beautiful Cal Golden Bear on the front. And this is an old school MS-64. Probably going to be at a couple $100 on that. That beauty. Just a neat old piece. Oh, man. Okay, so little known fact here, folks. Connecticut, this is, I don't know if this is my favorite. This is nearly my favorite. I've owned some Connecticut's that I had regret that I sold. Because, you know, there's something about, first of all, the eagle. This is, I think, my favorite eagle on all U.S. coins. And there's a lot. Like, you could just do a top 10 list of best eagles on U.S. coins, which if I really wanted just YouTube clicks, that's what I would do, because, you know, top 10 lists are amazing. So they got the Charter Oak on here, and one of my favorite things about this coin is, especially if you get the right toning, I've had some toned on the front with the leaves, how when you tilt the coin, you know, the leaves start to shimmer. And I've had them toned over where it looked like it was fall or autumn, and then you would turn the coin and the whole thing would just pop. That was one of my favorite coins. This one is a Mint State 64. I like the fact that they also can't spell Connecticut, and it's just Connect. They went through these weird time periods where apparently they felt like they couldn't use much of the label. Wild stuff. So that is also in the $250 ballpark. Now, going from a coin that is has a lot of detail, some of these coins, to coins that don't, I won't say there's not a lot of detail, but you know, this is the Rhode Island with the anchor on the back and hope on this side. And then once again, you have pilgrims meeting natives, 1636, 1936. So you have to use that big T word again, tercentenary. And this is one of the most flat designs of all coins. Probably why it's not one of my favorites. There's something about the flatness versus, you know, something that has just more dimension. Like any of these guys, you know, even though there's not like some magic design element to this Maryland, right? But there's something about having everything being just flat that is not as attractive. Now, I will say the coins in high grade, you got a 66 plus on here, and you know, you can start to see when you look at price points on coins just how common they are in certain grades. This is 66 plus, and it's only a couple $100, whereas, you know, there's lots of coins, of course, Morgan dollars, that if you got in that grade, they jump up a whole lot. But a lot of the commemoratives come in very high grade. I got a couple more to show to you. Of course, the Lyndon B. Johnson $50. Like you didn't know who this guy was anyways when you started. Come on now, be honest. Lynchburg and Carter Glass. This is, by the way, we talk about design elements sometimes. The In God We Trust on here, one of my favorite In God We Trust. See, there's another top 10 list. You know, which top 10 gods do you trust in, right? Well, you put it on the coin, so it must mean something spiritual. Lynchburg, Virginia, sesquicentennial, that's how that word's pronounced. E pluribus unum, and just actually a real pretty coin on the back, which it doesn't get enough credit because on the front you've got this. You know, so really intriguing piece. MS-64. This is a coin that's about a $200 coin. Also, probably with Rhode Island, a little bit closer to my not favorite, not my top 10 commemorative halves. This coin is in my top 10, and I'm going to tell you, I don't mean that, of course, literally, because sometimes I just talk. But what I mean is this coin in particular, the eye appeal. you know, I was getting back at how some of those coins, some of your commemorative halves, have just such a cool tone to them and originality. So the Pioneer Memorial in Elgin, Illinois, this is a giant statue, United States of America. The Liberty just scantily put across there in really fine print. Also kind of a cool design element when you look at all the different ways. You know, it has to have Liberty on there, and it's just kind of really very subdued looking. And then you have the Frontiersman. The Frontiersman especially, the front of this coin kind of sells it for me. That scratch is on the plastic, not on the coin. MS66 on this Elgin, real pretty coin. And once again, you know, I know lots of guys that are buying Silver Eagles, and they're spending this much on a Silver Eagle that'll have a mintage of $500,000 instead of a mintage of, you know, 10 or 20,000. You know, a lot of commems have mintages in that ballpark, but just a lovely piece. So, anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what some of your favorite commems are. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.